Welcome back. The Media Independent Practitioners Association of Nigeria is encouraging its members to build strong relationships as a way of fostering professional cooperation. This perhaps informs the theme of their 2015 annual family get-together, which is Play and Connect.
Members of Media Independent Practitioners Association of Nigeria are gathered here for one thing: to play and connect. It's the 2015 MIPAN Patrons Day, and everyone here is taking it all in with family and friends. From dance competition to novelty football match, and now a sack race. The executives of the association explained the motivation for this annual get-together.
The practice is a very intense one, as I said. There's a lot of competition, and it's a rapidly growing industry. So much of the time, people are busy at work. Sometimes they work till 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night. I know that for sure because I happen to have an interest in one of the media independents here in Nigeria. So I thought it was a good idea that they go away from everyday work and one day in a year take their family, their spouses and their children out and bring their friends along and have fun.
Like the theme of the year says, let's play and connect, to really come together and play and connect, really. Beyond the business environment where we compete and scout for business, there's equally the human angle to business. And the need for us to put hands together because that's the only way we can move this industry forward.
For them, this annual picnic of MIPAN is an avenue to build positive relationships with professional colleagues.
We are various agencies, we compete in the same industry, but it's only better that once in a while we shield our source and then we come together to say, come, we are professionals first and foremost before we are members of agencies. Therefore, let's bond together, let's play together and be able to know one another better and foster unity among ourselves.
MIPAN was established in May 1999 for the development of the media advertising function in Nigeria.
Now, Sepp Blatter says he'll resign as president of the football governing body FIFA amid a corruption scandal. In announcing his exit, the 79-year-old Swiss has called for an extraordinary FIFA Congress as soon as possible to elect a new president.
Thank you so much that you are here. The interest for following this wonderful day today.
Sepp Blatter served as the 8th president of the most influential football organization, FIFA. He was first elected president of FIFA on June the 8th, 1998 at the 51st Congress, succeeding Joao Havelange, who had been president since 1974. Blatter was re-elected in 2002, 2007, 2011 and 2015. Prior to his presidency, Blatter had served as the General Secretary of FIFA since 1981, which creates an impression that he is well grounded in the politics of the game. Like his presidential predecessor Havelange, Blatter has sought to increase the influence of African and Asian countries in world football through the expansion of participating teams in various FIFA tournaments. Yet that has persistently been embroiled by claims of corruption and financial mismanagement, with the award of the 2018 World Cup to Russia and 2022 World Cup to Qatar being the most prominent. There has also been threats of major sponsors terminating their contracts with FIFA and a likely European boycott of the 2018 and 2022 World Cups.
To discuss today's shock resignation of FIFA President Sepp Blatter and the implications for us here in Africa, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by the President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Mr. Amaju Pinnick. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know what kind of day it is for you, being one of his strongest supporters. Did you see it coming?
Candidly, no, I didn't see it coming. Yeah. Well, I would say he should be applauded, he should be commended for taking the decision, because he came out to say that even though he got the mandate of the Congress, he did not get the mandate from other stakeholders, for example, the players and other football audience. So he decided that for the sake of FIFA and for the good of the game, he decided to throw in the towel, you know.
You don't think it has been coming? This is not the first time he would be receiving the kind of support he was looking for. The fourth time, the third time. I mean, hasn't it slowly been snowballing into what we see today?
Not really. And Blatter has been somebody that is so very passionate about the game, and he's been there for 40 years, and being in FIFA, holding that very key responsibility, built it beyond people's comprehension. But beyond that, you know, football is a game of peace. Football is where he doesn't want turmoil. He feels there are so many extreme positions, and he doesn't want to be at the center of it. So he decided at that point, you know, to throw in the towel. And beyond that, she also knows that football is very massive business. That brings the issue of integrity and transparency and probity, you know, because people are talking about corruption. We all know that corruption, even though it's not Amadou Pinnick supporting, is the continent of Africa and beyond.
You're talking about, let's look at it. This is coming on the back of allegations of racketeering, corruption, financial mismanagement. Let me take you to some of the remarks he made before his big announcement. He said, we need deep-rooted structural change in FIFA. He's been there for as long as you said he's been. Is he admitting something here that we can't see?
No, if he says that, you know, as the president of FIFA, you preside over the Congress. The Congress is the biggest decision-making body. If you bring a proposal and the proposal is turned down, then it's not your fault. He has said it clearly. He has brought proposals in the past to restructure football. For example, FIFA should handle the integrity checks of members coming into the executive committee instead of the various confederations. Now, a confederation's heads, for example, like the one in CONCACAF and all those who head responsible, they are now aligning it to him, you know. So he feels that FIFA should come out with their own integrity checks, and that is it.
No, but he said initially in his comments that the confederations do their own thing and they can't really control them, but they do have that oversight function as FIFA. And we don't think that he did well in that particular regard, throwing his hands up in the air and saying, what could he do? I don't know.
Well, I think litigations are going on, and whatever I say might be subject to this. So I just think we should leave that. But what I want to say, transparency is very important, and it's based on that even when I was elected a few months ago, we made it very clear that, you see, corruption is a cankerworm, capable of destroying whatever you build. And it's based on that we brought in blue chip companies to assist the federations in redefining football in Nigeria, bringing in financial derivatives as our financial consultant, bringing in Pricewaterhouse as our audit partner, and of course Ben & Co to restructure the football federation. So we haven't thinking far beyond what FIFA is doing, because we know that once you have transparency in place, you are attracted to Nigerian corporates in everything that you are doing. And again, we feel whatever happened is for the good of the game. And really and truly, it's not about Amadou Pinnick. It's about the thinking of most CAF people that Nigeria is a very important country. Nigeria is one of the most important countries in CAF and even in FIFA, being the biggest black nation. Nigeria has a population of 180 million, technically. The next biggest population to Nigeria is Ethiopia with 90 million. So in everything that we do, they always want us to take the front burn. They always want to take the front seat. So it's not about Amadou and Nigeria. It's about CAF. And so the implication to CAF is that, no, you cannot. CAF has 54 votes, the same way the European nation, the same vote. One thing that counted for Blatter was that he gave even the smallest countries, like Seychelles, that has a population of 94,000 people, or even Sao Tome, that has 140 million people, the same privilege as England, as even China.
One of the reasons people were a bit bitter with him was the sit-tightism. And it's interesting, if you look at his speech, he's talking about reducing the length of terms for presidents. When he himself was there for how long? Some might find that a little bit ironic that he's now giving that kind of advice for somebody who was elected for his 5th term just last week.
In my own candid opinion, you see, you don't just show people away because of shoving away. And if he has been there and he now sees that possibly being there, we end up in some kind of calamity like this, then of course he will want to leave. But give and take, we've been able to identify that this man did great. And let me say something, the 209 members in FIFA, one way or the other have benefited tremendously from the various developmental and otherwise programs of FIFA. Only a few days ago, FIFA, they were in Nigeria to conduct tests for our referees. They've done a lot of, not just Africa. In Africa, we've hosted 4 major tournaments twice in Nigeria, one in Egypt and one in South Africa. And that has really defined and changed the scope and thinking of football in the continent.
Of the Nigeria Football Federation, Mr. Maju Pinnick, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you for
on the
having me.
news
It's a
at 10
privilege.
tonight. Well, we have a bit more sports news. Ayotunde Balogun will be joining us shortly.
If you want to know what's trending or you miss your favorite live shows, you can watch it all on our YouTube channel. Simply log on to www.youtube.com/channelsweb. Scroll down to your favorite program and click play. You can also view all uploaded videos by clicking on View All. Don't forget to subscribe and get the latest videos. If they are interesting, like them and be heard. Get connected with the channel's television YouTube page. The news at your fingertips.
This is the ultimate redefined for men.
Hello and welcome to Sports News. A quick check at other stories making the rounds in the world of sports. Now, Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi has retained 8 home-based players in camp ahead of the June the 13th Africa Nations Cup qualifier against Chad. Now, the players retained are goalkeepers Daniel Akpe and Ikechukwu Ezenwa. And the defenders include Azubike Gweke, Solomon Kwambe and Chima Akas. Only one midfielder, Bright Onyedikachi, was retained, while strikers Bola Salami and Ikechukwu Gabriel were also picked. Keshi explained that the retained players will be joined by the 15 invited foreign-based pros for the final phase of preparation for Nigeria's opening 2017 Nations Cup qualifier in Kaduna next weekend. Anti-match fixing organization Fedibet says match fixing is getting bigger and deeper in world football. Now, the European Socialist Party in the European Parliament invited Fedibet earlier today to present the results of its 2015 report, where about 50 games in the 2014-2015 season are suspected to have been rigged. Fedibet explained that they investigated when betting took place, and they noticed, as they put it, something that goes against mathematics or suspicious financial flaws. And that's in the sports news. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
This is the ultimate redefined for men.
Now, China's transport minister says rescuers are in a race against time to find survivors among the hundreds missing after a cruise ship capsized. Here's Cynthia Are with more.
Well, thank you. Officials say at least 15 people survived, with some found alive inside the submerged hull of the Eastern Star. The captain and the chief engineer, who both survived, have been detained. They say the boat, which sent no emergency signal, was caught in a cyclone. Then 2 Malaysian children who lost their father on flight MH370 have settled their negligence case out of court. It is thought to be the first such case since the plane went missing between Kuala Lumpur and Beijing in March 2014. Also today, Somalia's militant Islamist group Al-Shabaab has entered a remote village in northeastern Kenya, despite the fact that it's only about 15 kilometers from a military base. Hundreds of people have now fled Warankara and schools have shut down. This is the only second time that Al-Shabaab is known to have occupied territory in Kenya. Finally, another call is being made to South Sudan. This time around, it's coming from African leaders. The governments of Kenya and South Africa are calling on South Sudan to resolve its 18-month crisis.
To our friends, we are saying we are looking towards you to be the instruments of peace and stability in the Republic of South Sudan. War has never benefited anybody. Peace is what your people fought for their freedom for. They did not fight to shed blood. They fought it to have peace and to have prosperity.
That's the foreign news wrap-up. It's back to you, Ijoma.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. And the main news again. Service chiefs have briefed President Buhari on the state of security across the country, and particularly the Boko Haram menace. And FIFA President Sepp Blatter has resigned amid the corruption scandal. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Kunyato. You have a great night.